Hey guys, good evening, happy Sunday. This is Javier with The Real Javier Novoa, a channel, a platform, and a modality where we apply the principles of philosophy, spirituality, and interiorism to rapid lifestyle transformation. Just wanted to touch base with you quickly this weekend. We're going into next week again with more detailed explanations about interiorism, as we've had many questions about it, and how that is going to get you across the finish line in rapid lifestyle transformation. I just came across a post on YouTube, on the YouTube channel of the great Tim Ferriss. And for those of you who have not read Tim Ferriss, we recommend that you go into his work. He's all about lifestyle design. He's all about accelerated learning. And many of the principles that we teach on this channel, he wrote the book, The 4-Hour Work Week, which is basically how to create a lifestyle business to get off the prison grid and to basically work 4 hours a week by utilizing the Pareto principle and other things. Again, very much aligned to what we teach in this channel. While I don't think he is consciously a subscriber to the spiritual modalities that we teach on this channel, many great business leaders are not consciously doing that. They have to be doing it subconsciously, because the only way to manifest is by following this blueprint, whether consciously or subconsciously. There are many billionaires who are very self-conscious about it, who were rather, like the great Boris Berezovsky, who wrote a book on this, and we talked about it in the previous video. Also the great Trevor Blake and others. There are many examples of this, but most of them, like Elon Musk, we don't think that he's self-consciously applying the principles of law of assumption, law of attraction. Nevertheless, they are the best people at implementing those subconsciously, although they probably couldn't explain it. So we love to take a lot of great material from Tim Ferriss, and I think this write-up, or this posting on his YouTube channel, is one of the best, and it's going to basically help put into relief a lot of the principles that we teach in this channel. So I said there are rare times when I feel like I'm in the zone. Those are great. And this is my comment here. The zone is something that we've taught since the early days of this channel. And that's basically getting into the receptive mode and then allowing yourself to be carried through the tasks that you want to perform and so on and so forth, with the end already in mind. And then those actions are basically performed through you. It's the state that the athlete gets into when he's performing at his best. It's the state that the business leader gets into when he's in that full creative mode. It's the zone. And it's something that we aim for. It's not something that we can do consciously, but we can get into it indirectly by implementing a lot of the principles and the tools. A lot of the tools that we give you in this channel are shortcuts for putting yourself in the position to be able to get into the zone. So then he says, then there are times when I ask myself, how in holy heck have I become a janitor of a mountain of BS? And he uses a lot of curse words in here. We choose not to on our channel, so we're not going to use those words, but you can read the post. How did I become a janitor of a mountain of BS? And that's where we are a lot of the time. Joe Dispenza talks about that a lot of our time is spent in reaction, being in reactive mode, reacting to the situations that life throws at us. And it's a lot easier when we get up earlier in the day, when we meditate and get on a good vibrational wavelength, that we actually get out ahead of it, as Abraham Hicks talks about it, and are not simply receptors of and defenders against the mud that's being thrown at us, so to speak. But a lot of times we feel that way because we get knocked out of kilter by whatever happens. And he says, put another way, sometimes you're the boxer and sometimes you're the punching bag. We all get our turn as the punching bag. As far as I can tell, it doesn't matter how successful you become, you've always grabbed a number at the deli counter of getting your you-know-what kicked by the universe. And this is actually encouraging, because Tim Ferriss is one of the most successful people out there. He's run a successful podcast for years. He's a best-selling author. And he's been valued at about $100 million, or northwards of $100 million. He's a very wealthy person, a very successful person, and also he's someone who continues to develop and learn. That's why I'm so attracted to the energy of the great Tim Ferriss. I remember just a few days ago I was watching an interview with him and a financial author and personality, and he was saying, well, I'm now at the point in my life where I'm studying ancient Babylonian history and Uruk and ancient Iraq and cuneiform and so forth. And I was thinking to myself, this is a man who's 47, 48 years old, or maybe northward of there, and he's constantly taking on new projects and learning. He's not simply resting and staying stagnant. And there's this portrayal in our society that once you get past a certain age, you're sort of over the hill and therefore you're not to take on new pursuits. In fact, I remember a few years ago, I read a question by a question put to a very wise religious scholar by a man who was in his 40s. And he said that he was thinking about changing his career and learning a Java programming language, and should he do that? And this religious scholar said, no, at this age you should not start something new, it's too risky, and so on and so forth. Well, nowadays we know that in our current society, in our current world, you're not going to be having the same job or even the same career for the next 2 to 5 years. Things are moving too quickly. So the idea that you stop changing as you grow older is one that we cannot continue to acquiesce to, and it's one that's very outdated. It doesn't matter how old you are, ladies and gentlemen. There are people in their 60s who are embarking on new careers. There are people in their 90s who are getting college degrees, and I know from a great business consultant that he has helped a person who was 86, 87-year-old start his first business, and it has been a success. So age doesn't matter, ladies and gentlemen. You are an eternal being, and that's one of the things with which I disagree with the great Stoics, like the author Seneca. Seneca, I believe, wrote a letter to Lucilius, who was his interlocutor, to whom he was writing letters, and he said that there's nothing more pathetic than an older person embarking on something new, even though Seneca himself was northwards of 67. But this idea, I believe, is not true, and it's very discouraging. We came here to get everything that we could out of life. It doesn't matter what age you are, you can start something new at any time. And indeed, this channel gives you the tools to do that, and I appreciate Tim Ferriss for being an example of that, even though he's still a very young man. But even at that age, many people have simply settled into a career, they've settled into lukewarm results. We're not going to do that, and on this channel, we teach you how to get free from the prison grid so that you can continue growing no matter what age. You're not stuck at a certain level. So, just a little side there. He says, during these periods of firefighting, that's just fighting the fires that come in from old stagnant creations that might not even be, by the way, and this is my commentary, might not be on the vibrational wavelength at which you are now. You might have started something, but you're a lot further ahead vibrationally than you were then. You have to be willing to drop things that aren't working. But anyway, back to Tim. He says, I get fidgety and frustrated. I feel like I'm treading water, and patience wears thin, especially with myself. My instinct is to try to fix things as quickly as possible. And my commentary here, that's where most people are. They're in the reactive mode. They're in the mode of we have to take effort. We have to compensate with action for our vibrational mismanagement, and we have to fix things. That's all well and good, says Tim, but I've realized that from a place of WTF, from a place of low vibration, I often rush and create more problems. This is particularly catastrophic when I try to sprint immediately upon waking up. The mantra that saves me is simple: make before you manage. And many great teachers have gotten the essence of this. It's basically shaking the vibration up, and I've talked about this to a lot of my coaching clients. When you're in a stagnant state, or when you're in a state where you have to combat and fight and so on and so forth, and you feel like you're not making headway, do something different. Go for a run. Change your clothes. Make your bed. There was a military ex-commander, I believe. He wrote a book called Make Your Bed in the Morning, and the basic premise was that if you get up and make your bed in the morning, you've shaken up the vibration. You're starting out on a vibration of accomplishment. So don't wake up and try to answer the challenge that was put there by your emails. Wake up and do something that you can do. Make your bed. So this is understood by a lot of great business thinkers, so on and so forth. So he says, each morning before plugging holes, fixing things, calling vets, answering text messages, or delegating things, this mantra, make before you manage, is a reminder to make something. Even the most time-sensitive items can usually wait 60 minutes, and by make something, I mean anything. You just need to feel like you've pushed a millimeter ahead, and this is my commentary again here. That's the key here. Remember, a little bit is a lot. You don't have to move that needle much to get the momentum moving in that direction. It's momentum. A small step is an infinity in this. So just move ahead a little bit in some creative direction. For me, even a 90-second video of calligraphy could set a better emotional tone for the day, helping me more calmly handle problems. And my commentary here, this is vibration. And it's getting into that high vibration that's going to aid you most in being able to get into the zone. And when you're in the zone, ladies and gentlemen, you're there. Or maybe I attempt to jumpstart my writing with an Instagram caption. It's practically nothing, but it's enough. Even token effort, so even some things that I just do half-heartedly because I can do them, my comment here, allow me to reassure myself with, don't worry, you did produce something today. Create something new, ladies and gentlemen. Abraham Hicks talked about, just as an aside, laying new pipes. So you talk about you're trying to get water through these old dirty pipes that you have to try to clean them and so on and so forth. That takes a lot of effort. What takes less effort is just to make new pipes and then have the water run through those new pipes. Because remember, every time you wake up, you're a brand new person. Oftentimes it's a lot easier to create something new that's up to date with the vibration that you're at today rather than trying to compensate for something that you created yesterday. It's something to keep in mind. And Tim goes on, the psychological difference between 0 acts of creation and 1 act of creation, no matter how small, is impossible to overstate. If you're lucky, sometimes that one idea, one sentence, or one crummy first draft can turn into something bigger. But the point is to be able to say to yourself, even for 5 minutes, hark, I'm a creator, not just a janitor of BS, not just a janitor, I would say, of negative vibration. Here's the proof that I can and will do more than just manage minutiae. We all spend time on the struggle bus. At the very least, this mantra has helped me, Tim says, to find a window seat when it's my turn. When in doubt, try it out. Make before you manage. Couldn't have been said better, ladies and gentlemen. Start some new creations this week. Start it from a beginning of high-flying vibration. Apply the principles that you've learned and are using from this channel. Create something new. It's going to be more in line with your current vibration, and it's going to render all of your past struggles from yesterday, many of them at least, irrelevant. Keep generating ideas even if you don't think they're good. Just write a list of ideas. James Altucher, the great author, he wrote a book called Choosing Yourself, I think it was 10 years ago, talked about this. Work out your idea muscle. Generate new ideas, and you're going to find that your mind is going to go along with it more willingly than if it was just trying to fix what we did yesterday. Because again, what we did yesterday no longer speaks to the person that we are today. That's why this channel advocates minimalism. Clean up your environment as much as you can. Get rid of the old, stale items and objects. They are not who you are today, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, to get in a better vibration, shake things up, go for a run, meditate, create something brand new, and I promise you, you're going to reap the great rewards of that. Ladies and gentlemen, this week we're going more into the nitty-gritty of interiorism, of living on the interior, and by that allowing great results to flow on the outer. Thanks for watching the videos, ladies and gentlemen. I do invite you to subscribe to the channel if you have not. We're getting more subscribers daily. You'll be putting your energy in with a group of master manifestors, and you'll be helping us get the word out. I am doing coaching calls. Those are also taking off. I will take you by the hand in this modality, and we will get you results, more results than perhaps you've seen in years, within a very short period of time. I will put my email in the description. Thanks for watching. I will see you tomorrow with more on interiorism. Till very soon, this is Javier. Ciao.